girls hanging out under spreading trees. Zoom, they're gone behind the sign. White letters pointing to the long white line, and I'm going to the country. Oh, la 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 la. Going to the country, sunshine, smile on me.
I think it was July 2006. Bruce and I had been thinking about retirement. What should we do? Where should we live?
Hi, I'm Kathy Clark. Let me tell you how this project came about. Bruce and I have been living in Florida for several years.
There are some good things about Florida. The beaches, for instance. The magnolia blossoms. The winters are nice, and it's true we do like riding our bicycles out in the swamps. But most of the time it's just too hot. It's a sweltering, humid heat that drives us to stay indoors in the air conditioning for the greater part of the year. Plus, it's never really felt like home to either of us. I was actually born and raised in Ephrata, and I've always loved eastern Washington. My family still lives all over Washington State: Tacoma, Seattle, Everett, Ellensburg, Ephrata, Spokane. I can't deny that the recent addition of grandchildren had something to do with our decision to move back to Washington State. Since Bruce and I have both been working as teachers, we've had the summer months off, and for several years we'd fly up to Washington for a few weeks, get a rental car, put a lot of miles on it driving around, visiting family, and taking the grand tour. In 2006, we somehow ended up in Wenatchee. It seemed like a nice place. We fell in love with all the bike trails and the beauty of the Columbia River and the nearby mountains. So I said to Bruce, "How would you feel about this area as a place to retire?" He was pretty quick to respond. "Absolutely," he said. Later, when we returned to Florida, we started checking with online realtors in the area. We really hadn't thought about it too much, and quite frankly, we weren't exactly sure what we wanted to do. Turned out a lot of other Gen Xers were also looking at the Wenatchee area as an ideal place to retire. We felt we wanted something a little different, however. We looked at a lot of empty land parcels in the outlying areas. A small farm, maybe? And then for some reason, we checked the multiple listing service for commercial properties. One of the first to come up was this lonely little building in Waterville. "Where's Waterville?" we both asked. So of course we brought up Google Earth on the computer. It flew us there in an instant, up over Florida, diagonally across the entire United States to Washington, and zoomed us towards an area that at first appeared empty. But then a small dot appeared. As we descended, the dot grew bigger and took shape, and that became our first view of Waterville. There we were, our heads up over the clouds and all the world below to see. In seemingly no time, we'd booked a flight and were on our way to Waterville. The dream was beginning to focus into reality, like out of some misty legend, with a history that Western story writer Louis L'Amour himself could not improve upon. 17 single men and 1 single woman. Waterville, the settlement once known as Sourdough Flat, right down Badger Mountain from Thieves Gulch. It's quoted in the 1904 book, An Illustrated History of Big Bend Country. Talk about scenery. What's the matter with the view that may be had any day from Waterville? To the south skirt the Badger Mountains. Farther away to the west extends the Cascade Range with their snow-capped peaks rivaling one another in their ambition to reach the skies. As the eye follows along to the north, it will see Mount Chelan, the home of every wild animal known to a north temperate zone climate. and a landmark for all tribes of Indians to the northwest. Next, the beholder views the rugged mountains of Okanogan County, their bosoms filled with gold and silver, and rivers glistening with mountain trout. When this interesting panoramic view has been satisfied, let the eye rest on the great expanse of rolling prairie of thousands of acres, here and there dotted with the cabin of the immigrant, where peace, happiness, and contentment dwell as nowhere else in the Big Bend. In the midst of this scene is the mighty Columbia River winding its way through the center of diversified resources, as though to serve as a medium to float the overproductions of the country to the sea. When an observatory has been erected at Waterville, no city in the world can excel her in extent and variety of natural scenery. So Bruce and Kathy had come to Waterville, 21st century pioneers, immigrants from subtropical lowlands of sand, swamp, alligators, and retirees. We'd come as strangers, but knew we wouldn't remain strangers for long. The town is rich with people with a deep sense of community, and we knew we'd come to Waterville to stay.